Hey, what's happening? It's your guys, Extreme Sonic here, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing another review for Youjo Senki, aka Saga of Tanya the Evil, episode 2. And when I tell you that this episode was lit, I am telling you, like, if you haven't checked out this anime yet, please do. I feel like if the anime continues on the route that it's gonna reach Attack on Titan level. It's a bold statement, I know, but I feel like it will reach that status. But basically, let's talk about the episode. So the episode pretty much starts out with us being in the future. I think it's the year 2013, and we're pretty much listening to a monologue of a guy working in a company, and his monologue pretty much persists with the idea of you have to work and you have to follow the rules. Like, no one can succeed if you don't follow the rules. Like, order and stuff like that is important for one to survive, basically. And during his monologue, he's doing his job and he's pretty much getting ready to fire another guy, and the other guy was kind of begging him to keep him in the job. He has a wife, he has a daughter with petitions, and he also needs to focus on the mortgage that he just took out for a house or something like that. I don't know, but basically he's begging this man to let him keep the job. But obviously the guy who was monologuing was pretty much telling us that he has to do his job. Like, there's no like order without rules, and if he doesn't follow the rules, there's going to be chaos, and he's doing the best of his ability to just do his job. So he fires the guy and he goes on monologuing about how he's going to try and get himself a better and easy life, and he's preparing himself for an easier life, basically. Like, he's thinking about retirement and stuff like that. I don't know, he's just monologuing. So get to the train station, and what happened in this train station is one of my biggest fear, and it's actually why whenever I go to a train station, I never stand in front. Do you guys know where the front part of the station is, like where the train comes by? I never stand there. Like, I never. So the guy that he fired, he got salty, he got mad, he's all up in his emotions and stuff like that, and he goes behind the guy who was monologuing and he pushes him into an incoming train. And I was like, bruh, that's why I don't stand in front of the station. I don't even care to get in first when the train comes by. I don't really care about that. I'll just wait in the back. That's just who I am. But he pushes him in front of an incoming train, and before he gets slammed the fuck out of by the train, he freezes. Like, apparently time freezes for everything except for him or something like that. And he starts to ask, yeah, what's going on, what's happening, why haven't I been killed yet? And apparently God has stopped time, and he's talking to him saying like, yo, you've lost faith in me, what's happening, what's wrong with you, why didn't you have faith in me? He's just asking a bunch of questions. And obviously the guy who's monologuing, he's replying back saying like he's lost faith in God, he doesn't believe in God, he just doesn't see how God could let something like this happen. So he assumed that the guy that's talking to him is pretty much the devil. And the voice basically comes back saying like, I see your fate is actually this bad, like this is how you feel about me. So the monologue, the conversation goes left and right until the monologue guy says something that kind of gave God, I guess, an idea. And he's talking about, actually before that, he actually said that he has the ability to give people a new life. So basically reincarnation, he has the ability to do that. So near halfway through the conversation, the monologue guy dubs him Being X. So that's how we identify this voice from here on forward. So the Being X decides that the best way to reinstate this guy's fate again is to reincarnate him in a different world. So he does that. I know the guy obviously is panicking, because what the Being X was trying to do is that monologue guy said that only people who are in a struggling life, who've lost everything, and are people who have to rely on someone else, are those who still cling to faith and stuff like that. So Being X is trying to bring that back by pushing him into a world where all of those categories are met. So fast forward a little bit further, and monologue guy turns out to be Tanya, who's been reincarnated into the little girl. So It was very interesting to see this guy's, well now henceforward it's now this girl, to see this girl's perspective on the world. She still has the same mindset, she still wants to survive, to build a life where she can just relax and live out the rest of her life later on. And she joins the army because she thinks that the army, the military army anyways, is the only option for her. Like, the army is the only option for her to succeed in what she's trying to do, and pretty much she does all of that. Obviously, common sense, everyone around her can't take her seriously because she's just a child, she's trying to sound intimidating, and you know, obviously she is not someone to be pushed around, so she's already getting ready to kill someone who disrespected the fuck out of her. Like, she's ready to stab her with the blade, and you know, someone has to come in and stop her and stuff like that. So the first half was just giving us kind of like an insight and background as to who Tanya is and how she came to be, which was actually very interesting. And we also learned that in that world that Tanya is in right now, it's very common to have magic. Like, people who have magical abilities are dubbed mages, so that was actually very interesting. We kind of already knew that from the first episode, but it is kind of interesting to get kind of like an explanation to that world itself. Now, come the second half, she's out on a I think an excavation mission or something like that. Well, she has to pretty much point out to the artillery forces where they have to shoot and let them know if there's any errors in their, you know, accuracy or something like that. So she does that, and unknown to her, there's actually another platoon heading towards her, and pretty much, yeah, when she requested to be pulled out of this situation and, you know, to evacuate, and she was denied that request, the look on, like, the facial expressions in this anime is fucking lit. Like, it is amazing, absolutely amazing. You know, she obviously didn't complain, she accepted her fate, and she goes back in. She talks about how people who say it's a good day to die, she now understands that saying, and she goes in and she goes in ham. Like, bro, she took out at least 2 people using maneuverability and all that stuff, and she halfway through the episode she ran out of ammunition. She obviously self-destructed. Like, she went in, her eyes went red, and it's just like, this is it, I'm going out in a bang. So she pretty much tries to kill herself basically, but she didn't succeed, obviously. I think her goal was to, you know, show the army that she wasn't useful enough, so she could get the rest of her life spent with the company's money. I don't know what she was thinking at that time. I'm kind of confused on that myself, but it turns out the company praised her, the military praised her for her effort to killing 4 people and pretty much stopping the platoon from advancing, and she was awarded the medal of white silver or something like that, or wolf silver, I can't remember the medal, but she was awarded a prestigious medal basically. And now she's been regarded as an ace soldier and stuff like that. So that's kind of how she got that reputation of being a really, really good soldier. So that's how the episode ends. And honestly, my favorite part of this episode was the second half. Like, when she went crazy, like her facial expressions throughout the episode, from her being a kid to, well, she's still a kid, but from her being a younger kid to now, she's always had that savagery expression on her face, and that's something that's very interesting too. Yeah, so that's pretty much it though. This episode was actually really, really dope. I feel like this anime will catch on eventually. Like, this is something that's pretty damn dope. Like, but yeah, that's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your favorite part of this episode was in the comment section below, and obviously hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. There'll be more anime reviews coming out in the future. But yeah, I'm Shrimp by Sonic. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.